Just as I came here on the channel to talk about the whole trade that was going to be happening between the Pelicans and the LA Lakers and how much the Pelicans wanted, it is now being officially told by the Los Angeles Times and Adrian Wojnarowski that the LA Lakers have officially pulled out of this deal. And to me, this is a very smart move on the LA Lakers part because the Pelicans were just asking for way too much. I think at some point, you got to look at the laundry list of the things you're going to trade away and what you're going to get in return and look at it and just realize that it's not the right move. It's not the time to trade away your players. It's never the time to trade away almost your whole farm just for one guy. And I know that's going to sound crazy because we know that the legacy of the Lakers, legacy of the Yankees, Real Madrid, if you're a Real Madrid fan, all these top teams, the whole idea is to just get the player, get the guy that you want so that way you can win those championships and it doesn't even matter. But the LA Lakers are a different story because we know that their money comes from themselves. The money comes from the Lakers hype itself. It doesn't come from outside sources like Steve Ballmer does. The Lakers have to build hype within themselves. And getting rid of guys like Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and Josh Hart, although they're not NBA superstars yet, they could potentially become those guys. And by those guys becoming superstars, that means NBA jerseys are bought, tickets are bought. It's just an absolutely crazy scene in LA if those guys become at least somewhat of a star player. But the reason why I said like you don't want to trade those guys for Anthony Davis is because we remember what happened in New York with Carmelo Anthony. They basically gave away everything to the Denver Nuggets for Carmelo Anthony, and look where it ended up showing on the team. Look where the Knicks are at right now. They're struggling. They traded away their star player, and it is now a point where Carmelo is not even on the team. Amari Stoudemire is not on the team. I just don't want the Pelicans, I don't want the Lakers, I should say, to really risk everything to bring in one guy. Because to me, bringing in Anthony Davis, yeah, you have him, but who else do you have? LeBron? Is LeBron and Anthony Davis enough to overcome the Golden State Warriors who have a starting five that could be an all-star team? That is just not the case, and I'm glad that the Lakers finally came to their senses. I know that Magic never made a deal he didn't like, and this to me is a deal he did not like and did not want to make. It also kind of goes to show you what the league really thinks of Rich Paul and LeBron James. Because there's also been rumors that I've been hearing that the league hates Rich Paul. The league just does not like the way that Rich Paul has gone about things as an agent, and also does not like the way that LeBron James has been doing things. Because we know that they've leaked this stuff, at least Rich Paul leaked it out, and the whole league is saying, you know what, Pelicans, if you trade Anthony Davis to the Los Angeles Lakers, we will never trade with you again, or we will blackball you from the league. And I think that demps, the GM of the Pelicans, could be blackballed if he would have made this trade. And I don't want to see a guy get blackballed for making a move that he thinks could be in the best interest of his team. We all know that if I was the Pelicans, I probably would have taken that offer if I was them, because you're not... The Celtics can brag all they want about having all these pieces, and I'm a Celtics fan myself. They can brag about all these pieces, but if Jason Tatum's not included in the Pelicans trade for Anthony Davis, then I don't want the trade. I know what kind of star Jason Tatum's going to become, and if it means getting rid of draft picks and all that stuff, as a Celtics fan, I am not getting rid of Jason Tatum. I can get rid of Jaylen Brown, I can get rid of Gordon Hayward, I can get rid of any other guy besides Jason Tatum. And I think that the Lakers are going to be they're going to realize, at least the Pelicans are going to realize how dumb of a move it was to not get all those pieces that the Lakers finally amped up their offer to, and the Pelicans still said no. I think the trade is going to be less now because I think there's only going to be two realistic teams that are going to go for Anthony Davis, and that's the Celtics, and that is, of course, the LA Lakers. The Knicks were on Anthony Davis' short list, but I don't see him going to the Knicks. I'm sorry. The Knicks, they still have a lot to prove to me in terms of can they secure and acquire free agents. As much as Kevin Durant says he wants to leave, I don't think it's going to be to New York. I know that the Knicks are very hopeful and very prideful of saying, you know what, how can you say that? The Knicks have a great history and tradition, but right now the history and tradition doesn't mean jack if you don't have a roster behind it. The Lakers right now have the roster behind it along with a star player in LeBron James, and that's why it's working right now and why a lot of teams are very interested, or at least the Lakers are interested in trading to make sure that they get a star player. So that's one of the reasons why I think the league has really gone into the ears of the Pelicans to kind of say, hey, you better make sure you don't trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers for just crap. You better make sure that you ask for everything because we don't like the Lakers. We don't like LeBron James. And it's just kind of sad, isn't it, that the league hates LeBron James and Rich Paul so much that they have to do these offers, or they have to create this narrative that they have to trade the whole farm to get a guy in Anthony Davis. Because, I mean, we see what the trade was for Kawhi Leonard, and it just wasn't that much compared to what the Lakers are going to be offering for Anthony Davis. I would say that, in my opinion, that Kawhi Leonard is better than Anthony Davis, not because he has a championship, but because of everything that he does, and he's one of the best two-way players out there. So if you're only going to trade that much for a two-way player, what makes you think I'm going to trade that much for a Anthony Davis player who's very good, but not great yet? He's almost there, but I think he needs a couple more years to really get there. He's only 25 right now, and I think that potentially he could get there in the near future, especially if he teams up with LeBron James. And I just think it's laughable to me that the LA Lakers are getting made fun of because they can't make the deal happen. A lot of teams are blackballing the LA Lakers. This Lakers hate, and just the hate of the big franchises such as like the Celtics, the Lakers, and all these big markets, it's funny because we all know that these owners would love to move their teams to LA. If they could, honestly, they would move each and every individual team to either the East Coast or the West Coast in the top cities and areas. Honestly, I think you would at least see like 15 or 16 teams in LA because they know that the market is so much bigger in LA, but they know that they can't do that. And I think that that's what the jealousy and the hatred comes from. It's just the fact that they are not part of the LA franchise and not part of the LA market. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do on from here, especially next year when Anthony Davis has only 1 year left on his contract. Will Anthony Davis be worth that much, what the Lakers are trying to trade for, or is he going to be worth a lot less? And in my opinion, I think it's going to be less. I think they're probably going to get rid of maybe Lonzo, Kuzma, and Josh Hart. And maybe that'll be enough for the Lakers to get by and get Anthony Davis. Because I swear, if I was the Pelicans, I would have made the move right away. But of course, I'm not the Pelicans. I know that Dell Demps has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, especially because he knows that if he does make this move to LA or makes the move for LA, he will, I guarantee you that he will probably not get another job in the NBA again because of how salty the NBA owners, NBA GMs are, because Rich Paul and LeBron James are trying to create the narrative. And should we really blame LeBron James and Rich Paul for trying to create the narrative? Because if we look at the franchises that are so inadequate, we look at guys like the New York Knicks, the Phoenix Suns, those type of franchises who have always been in the bottom tier of terms of how management is ran. How, as a player, if I was a player, I would be pissed to see that my franchise is not doing the best. And there's a reason why I think Kristaps Porzingis kind of had that stay woke Instagram post on his story, because I mean, look at the teams right now. Look at the Phoenix Suns. They are still trying to find a point guard. They are still trying to find out what the team is after the D'Antoni, Stoudemire, and Nash era. They're still trying to find that team. And also with the New York Knicks, they are still trying to find a team relative past the Carmelo days, but also the Patrick Ewing days. They haven't found a team to really solidify and say, hey, for the next 10 years, this is going to be our identity. This is the player that we're going to build around. But instead, these guys are floundering. They're tanking for draft picks. If I was a superstar on that team, and even the Pelicans at that point, Anthony Davis, you had Boogie Cousins on that team. You decided to get rid of him. Although Julius Randle is a very key addition. I really like Julius Randle. I think he's going to be a very good player for some other team. But, Boogie Cousins is Boogie Cousins. You don't get rid of that contract and you don't blue ball him. So that way he joins the Warriors, gets less money, and potentially could win a ring this year. This is where I think LeBron James and the players need to stand up and just show teams and show why these players want to take control of their destiny, because they are tired of inadequate GM decisions. It's kind of the reason why I think LeBron James wants to be called Le GM. There's a rumor or just a meme that LeBron James, and of course Chris Smoove started it, the Le GM. He wants to be the Le GM because, I mean, look at those other teams that I talked about. Look at the inadequacies of all these other teams. Just not being able to find a way to fit everything and make sure the franchise is up to boat, and making sure that they build around the superstars so that way the owners can be like, yes, we're going to make sure we do everything for you. You get into this business sport, or the sport of business, or you get to the business of sports, so that way, one, you can make money, and two, you can win a championship. It's all about bragging rights. So why, as an owner, would I not want to get the best players on the best team? Although I live in Milwaukee, although I live in Atlanta or although I live in any other destination, why would I not want that? Why would I not want to build what's best for my team? And that's the reason why I said I'm not mad at Rich Paul or LeBron James for trying to take control of their destiny. And also Anthony Davis, I'm not mad at him for that, because I think that it's unfair that these franchises who have so much money, so much capital, so much wisdom, but are still stupid enough to make these type of franchises like the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks, where it's like you don't know what they're going to do for the next 20 years. And it's the reason why, like I said, I can't blame LeBron James or Rich Paul. But anyway, guys, this is going to be it for the video here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And guys, I want to know what your guys' opinion is of this story. Do you think that the Lakers are giving way too much? Or do you think that the Pelicans are dumb for not taking this trade and other stuff as well? Anyway, guys, like I said, I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure to check out our other content and also hit that notification bell. Peace.